Hey there, Taurus. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, you know I love you, and I am so happy you are back. And if you're new to this channel, click that subscribe down below, baby. Join this family. It is free as always. And if you would like to be notified anytime I post new videos, just ring the little bell out beside it, and they'll be sure to let you know. Also, over here, I ask that you share because you care. If you like what we produce here at Joy of the World, give us that big thumbs up. Show the support. It begins to titillate YouTube a little bit, and they'll start circulating it out to people who otherwise would never receive the suggestion of this channel, okay? These are energy sessions. They are timeless reads. Even the timed ones that are dated, they're still timeless. They're everlasting. That's what we're about here. Everlasting joy, everlasting life, everlasting satisfaction, fruitfulness. We are eternal beings, and that's what we're here to do, is to awaken that and to begin to discover who we are and enjoy this planet that we're upon. Enjoy this genesis, this journey. So you can also share it with friends, share it with families, share it with enemies. Bring them here in front of themselves, because I'm simply the microphone. This is your energy speaking to you, okay? It's here to provide the resonance that you need, the clarity, the confirmation of what you've been walking out and you've been wondering and going, okay, I can't step in this yet because I'm not quite sure. Let me see. And you begin to get in here with your guide and your spirits. And it's going to give the checks and balances to help guide and move you forward. All right? So it's all about you, baby. I want to see you shine. I want your best dreams coming fruit that come out for y'all, free forever. No, they come through for you and bring you great joy and happiness, fulfillment and satisfaction. And you know what? Whether we ever meet here on earth or not, they make my world a better place, better, brighter, and bolder, because you are my dream. Okay? So interestingly enough, you've been sitting off waiting for your turn. You were waiting for me to get through Aries, and you're like, get to us, Joy. And I'm like, what are you doing down here? Look at that ghost dance, hiding off in the shadow, Taurus. Who you been spying on? What have you been peeping in on, trying to get some information? You're like, what is going on over there with your big eyes? You're looking for something. You're looking for a taste of the rainbow, is a bit of what you're talking about. So you've been spying in, like it's awakening my Capricorn energy. You're talking about love and money. You want to know, and it's like, no, just like Capricorn learned, it is and. We're stepping into this new era where plasma is coming in. I know we call it the era of air, but I'm going to just go ahead and call it what it is. It's plasma. Plasma is coming on in, which is very Aquarian. It's about water that is not wet. You know, emotions that aren't emotional. They're feelings, all right? They're very genuine. They're calculable. They're like a compass. Just the unique thing in the juxtaposition of plasma is it's so dispersed. It's so expansive and contractive all at the same time. Why do you think Jupiter and Saturn have been dancing around up in that sky, having a good old time? They're synergizing their energies to bring forward their new collection. Shun, basically TION, the ongoingness of their energy, of delight, of lightness, of ease, of affordability. Okay, there you go. You just trigger. You ready to go? So what we're talking about this week, maybe that's what you're picking on in your sensual Taurian self. You're like, oh, Joy, tell us. And I am like, here, it's not a message in a bottle. It's a massage. And this massage that Michael is doing is massaging your ruby. Man or woman, I don't care. Michael's a collection of many energies. That's why it ends in EL. Synergizing in here to tune like all the facets of your streams. And this ruby is right at the tip, the point of the sacrum. It's right where your legs come together, baby. Because we're talking about earth star energy, where all that you've stored in the depths of the earth, when you were divining your eye of God, when you were on the other side of the creative force going, yes, that, me, that person, that's what I want to come in. That's who I want to be. That's what I want to do and experience while I'm here. That's what I want to discover about life and about myself. It first meets and kisses right there between your thighs, right where the two legs become one body. All right. And that's where heaven and earth touch. That is the beginning of our knowledge of self. All right. And that's where we can begin to live in with it. So Michael had me bringing another energy alongside. I just shuffled through, and who came out? Look at this. On earth as it is in heaven. Do you see? 35 and 53, 53 and 35. We are talking about mirror. It is coming in. Mirror souls. Look. Hello, he's got a mirror right there. And opening one up here. Oh, we mirror souls. Talking about the fountain of love, the fountain of life, like this divine sparking, arcing. I want to know a little bit more about that. Okay, so the card's already down here. This rune came in, a couple of things came out, and I was like, what are you doing? You said, just put it there, and then we will talk. I'm like, okay, so let's see what you got coming on in here. Crushed continuity counts, except it's coming in like this. So he was talking about you once having had your dreams crushed, that this was like that high heart energy of the, ooh, I hope, ooh, I want, ooh, maybe it's that for me. I want my turn. You know, they got a nice car. I want a nice car, but I don't know if it's for me. You know, they got a neat husband or a neat wife or a neat friend or a neat, I hope that's for me. This is like all that hope, all that emanation. Okay. The deliciousness of life is what he's talking about. And it's here to, you're getting ahead of yourself, Taurus. Taurus is smooth and steady. It wins the race. It begins to reawaken your divine tree of life. Reawaken your loving power. Okay? For devotion, for truth, for true passion. That's clearly what he is saying here. And that's when it arcs and it crosses over into this. Also in this deck, there's a yin yang, a balancing energy, and it always shows itself to me as our world as we know it. Not as we experience it right now, but as we know it, as this type of energy in our heart, passing and moving out into this world, transforming our world into our truth, not into our reality. Because often we bumped our head when we landed, and we got some jacked up, messed up reality, and we're just like in rough, raw form. We're like, this isn't a ruby, this is a rock. And Michael's like, it's a ruby. And we're like, it's a rock. And he's like, watch what I do. And he like kung fu, ninjutsu, like ninja cat, chops, slices, and dices, and the fascination comes out. And you're like, ooh, drawn all in. I didn't know I was all that. And he's like, The magician, the mirror did. And he said, look at me. Listen to me. Spend time with me. Spend time with me, and I'm going to get the dents at your can. Because you can. It's no longer the can't. That's what he says is your dent, the apostrophe T. Cannot. So, all right, Michael, get your sword out and dissect, remove off all that is not you. That's what the not is. I cannot be me. I have to edit myself. I'm too much, too big, too powerful, too passionate, too whatever. Slice and dice that off, Michael. Show Taurus here the fascination of the ruby, the beauty of their power and magic within, the wondrousness of who you are. And oh, their cards sitting up under here. I can't wait to take a look. You weren't ready? You ready to do this ghost dance, to let yourself be seen? To come out of the mist, out of the shadows, out of the plasma, and into the now? You can do that now, because we're already in the roll to December 21st, 12, 21, like 53, 35. We're already there. It's coming on in, and it's being turned. And so it's like hopping on the ride and getting ready to arrive at that time and space. But when you're on it, like when you get on the airplane, they're already serving you all the goodies. You know you're already on the way. You're prepared, you're packed, you're ready to go. So we're going to start here with the King of Coins, the emanation of your crown, the divining and knowing of who you are. That goldness, this mystery and wonder starting to rise up like, how does she know? How does she know? And I'm like, you know, friend, you know, and I'm just touching those streams. I'm just here speaking. I'm just the microphone, right? And it's that knowledge that you do know yourself, but you just didn't know you had that power and permission. You thought it was, too much or would take too long, or that you really didn't know how to bring it about. And they're like, it doesn't matter. We do. Help us on the way. Help us on the way is what Michael's saying. So Michael, I see the magician as your initial help, but what help do you want to bring in on the way? Because we've got an incoming 10 of Cups here. So for some of you, that's your lover coming on in. And what I love, all right, is it's a separation. 6 of Cups is this union, maybe separated from previous lives or whatever, and in this lifetime and all of its genesis, I don't even know. But, you could be sitting around thinking you're in a 4 of Cups energy, and they're like, tune into the warmth of your passion, tune into your truth, and you will sit there and see that you both drink from the same cup. Not sharing COVID and all that stuff. It's like from the same cup of the heart, coming from the same place, the same passion and mindset about spirituality, about life, about family, that type of things, the things that matter to your heart. Because just as Cancer's hearth and home, you're very much home, okay? Let's see, and the Three of Cups sitting over here. So it's a lot of division, but this division actually is creative and it brings about multiplication. It brings about award and reward. Awardment is what you're talking about. All right, well, the Spirit's over here, and that's that divine trinity. I mean, y'all are of the same heart, but you each have your own self, your own identity, and the relationship has its own as well. Y'all's hearts are so big, and you're like, we know it. Look at all this green. I mean, look at that green. Look at that green coming on in, that life coming on in there. You've worked your magic. You've gone through the blood, sweat, and tears, the hopes, dreams, and fears. You got all this gestational energy of all your investment coming on through into you, working the magic for you, fascinating yourself, faceting yourself. Michael is involved here. Michael is the multitudinous warrior, right? Bringing in the goldness of your crown. This is the alignment of who you are, the perfection of who you are. And here, Spirit. Spirit is at rest. Spirit, your spirit is at rest. No more nodding, just canning. No more crushing. That knot crushed you, okay? That not giving yourself permission to enjoy life now. That not thinking you're worthy of what all came because you know what you really did. You know, even in secret or whatever. Or that not being good enough because no one ever told you you were. Or, you know, looking at past failures. He's like, we have removed that and separated that. We got that all out of the way. The expectation, this he's saying is expectation. It's out of the way. It's just right here, right together. And Four of Cups can be that disappointing, the longing, the waiting. And it's like, no, it's right here. They're like, do it again, Joyce, right here, 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 here. Taurus, right here in front of you. Okay? Same heart. But y'all, I got crazy hair today. Same heart. Your spirit's at rest. And that's what's amazing is this big just like you, big love. We're talking big love, big passion, big curiosity, staying power, devotion, faithfulness, that type of thing. And that's lighting up your kettle, baby. You got something in the oven. I don't know about the bun. That's up to you. If you want a bun, put a bun in your oven. If you don't, this is refreshment. This is satisfaction. This is delight because that's a copper kettle all warmed up in there. Yummy, nummy, nourishing, and divine. Now, mind you, it isn't or, it is and, okay? The or comes down right here. This is the or that you want, the O-R, not O-A-R, but you can make it O-A-R so you can get in your boat and get away from this as quickly as possible. But no, you have the reward in the reciprocation. You have the relationship coming on in here, okay? You have that, your spirit being at peace, and you have a future coming as well. You know, from morning to evening, it is satisfying all the time. It's not an on again, off again type of energy, okay? Some of you, if you want to turn it purely into money, that's up to you. It's up to you how you see it, okay, how you divine it with your magic. This is your reading, all right? But for those others of you, remember it was that, I don't know, that dead tree over here, and it's starting to spark and stir you up, and you're like, I would hope, I would want, I would this, I would that. Michael's like, cut that knot off. You can, you can, you can. And that can is you giving yourself permission, which is very much the authority that he brings in, that knowledge of yourself. And trusting the ruby, the magic, the seeds, all that, all the investing, to take care of it and to make clarity out of what is going on here. Because we could think 10, yes, I want the whole 10, but let me tell you, an elephant, I don't know, your broccoli slaw, whatever it is eating one bite at a time. Enjoy each bite. It's meted and measured out in its pure perfection, but this is satisfaction in knowingness and sharing yourself with another. All right, it's complete, it's reciprocated. Now we got to back up to the king for a minute, because now you see this emerald lighten up. So y'all got emerald. A lot of you who are up in May, you got emerald as your stone, your birthstone. It's lighting up all around your mind. You're like, I've got ideas of who it is or who it might be. But this is where he's bringing it back in, is know thyself. When you know yourself, your solarness, this knowledge that is being reiterated around here, Michael, as well, it's that creative knowledge of who you are and what puts you together, what makes you tick. Remember this synergizing of the heart, the shared cup of the heart. Don't compromise, don't settle, don't alter, don't adjust, don't let red flag pass by. That's something deep within you saying, hey, there's already a disconnect. Be bold, be brave, talk about it, discuss it openly, not with preconceived notions, or listen to yourself. I don't know quite how you're gonna do it, but I do know what is going on, all right? And it's just outside of the tree of life. It's just around you. And they're saying, all right, you can pick the wood, they call it. Let me look. They were telling me right before, so the wounded or the willing. You have a choice. And now that could be about you and your attitude going into it, because what you choose is what you're choosing. You're like saying, you don't realize you're like that person. You're like, ooh, that one's a little exciting. Maybe we'll just call that the wounded one, right? And then the other one, you're like, yeah, it's okay. Okay. That's the willing. Because just like in ourselves, often some of our greatest, strongest giftings are so commonplace to us that we're like, yeah, well, okay. But other people are like, man, I wish I could do what you could do. And you're so awesome at this and that. And you're like, slow your roll. It's always there. It's who I am. It's what I am. You're like Babe Ruth walking up, just cracking them off. True, there it goes. You know, you got Jerry Rice out there on the football field. It's natural. So it just seems normal. It may seem quite commonplace, and that could be the trick, the flaw. And I see you're starting to green up and grow up your tree just as we're speaking about this. It's becoming quite clear to you, and I'm excited about that, and I appreciate that for you, Taurus. But you want the one who chooses life as well, the one who appreciates life as well, the one who you see fire and light cuts on, you see ideas cutting on, you see growth beginning to happen on its own, going on right there. That's the one who's willing. So, and that it will spur the same in you as well. Not trying to become for someone. That's the crush. It's literally like an awakening. It's a warming. It's a nourishing. It is a reiterating. It is a confirming energy, not a conforming energy. Because to con is to be tricked and lied to. Them lying to you, you lying to yourself. It doesn't matter. That's what they're saying here. If you pick the wounded one, you're going to choose to get wounded. That's it. You're like, I want that wounding energy. It seems really exciting, seems promising, seems like, no, you being kind, baby. Don't lie to yourself. All right. This is a meat eater. Okay? And use some steak. Some buffalo, I don't know, Taurus. You're like, oh, okay, thank you, Joe, for clearing that up. But this is a grazer, right? This is a watchful person. They may not be as confident, as like assertive, like as oozing of whatever that is, male or female. I don't care, Taurus, who it is that you choose them, right? It's that someone that it might be even like sitting back just a little. It might be sitting off to the side, but you were, look at you. You were trying to look in the mist, stir the plasma, like mirror, mirror on the wall. Tell me my fortune. Tell me the trick. Tell me the secret. Tell me how to get what I want. I'm like, you already have it. It's right in front of you. But they're telling you, you know, this comes about, this feeling and everything that you've been working and nourishing in your heart is true. But the choice begins here, and the choice begins with you. Because when you know yourself, you know who you are, and you stand in your truth and that goldness, you're going to always choose the choice that facilitates your well-being in your life. Because it facilitates your well-being and your life. Those are clarifiers. That puts you in a position you're not taking advantage of them. Sorry, I thought it was on do not disturb, but there'll be no wounding. All right? There's willing. And where there's willingness, there is growth. That's true humility. All right? Knowing who you are, what you're here for, and where you're going. That growth begins to occur. So when that occurs, we come along, we travel through this and up and out, and we come into the depths of perception. The wheel of fortune is what you're talking about. We come into the divine 10. The 10 of the stars, the 10 of the moon, the central of the eye, the ancient Egypt. There's pharaohic, what are you talking about? Pharaohic, bounty, and juiciness. Wow. Bounty and juiciness. Ooh, the 4 angles. And the power of your Pluto. That's nice. They're enchanted by your dark of night. They're not put off by those things that maybe shadowed you a bit, that made you apprehensive. They actually see beauty and clarity there. They see your empowerment there, where you see weakness or mistake or something else. They see it with totally different eyes. That's why it's a complementary energy. It's confirming, not conforming. Okay? They're not making you into anything that you're not. That's how you'll know. You'll notice because when you sit and spend time with them, these words will be spinning around you. Just like those moons, you know, those asteroids moving around Jupiter. Okay? And that's how you come in the confidence and the knowledge of your heart, and you begin to trust your own heart. And then all this crushing moves on out of the way, and you realize you can. And you are a vessel of delight, all right? But they're telling me over here, under the magic, those magic eggs and all that investment that you've done, that downtime is necessary. This is time more for rest and reflection. This isn't exactly sleep, because that would be more here. All right. We have this resting and reflecting, this taking time to ponder without opening your mouth and speaking so quickly. You allow it to assimilate. You allow it to come on in. Just like you put the tea bag in the water, it takes a little time for it to steep and them to meld and to get to know each other. And you may only see a few little streams coming out into that water, but you begin to dip and move that bag, and it starts to spread and meld and commingle and become one, right? Because remember, there's their individuality. Here's your individuality, and that is the relationship. That's the commingling. And you begin to taste the relationship and see what it's bringing about, the fascination of it, of why you're not running away, of why you're still here, of what it is he's showing curious. What it is you're curious about. What is it that you're curious about? Now 2 cards are turned over, so I'm thinking this is the answer to the question. What are you curious about? You're talking about the sun and the creativity, the growth and the development. The unfurling of the fire flower. Some of you, that's some sauce, some spicy, some tipping in the pool of love. You're talking about, well, that's a whole different kind of ruby. I said, that's up to you. You know what we're talking about, where we're at, all right? The work's been done. It is time to have some fun. So there's a sandwich card between this rest and reflection and what you had coming on in right here. Okay, so it's looking a bit like this. Let's see what we have in this love sandwich. Again, incoming energy. There's the request to tell me your secrets. Remember how when we sat here and we understood the separation of the energy, that it wasn't against us, it was for us, it was offering us, that we weren't delayed, we weren't put off, there's no more longing, it's right here. That's when the kettle began to open up and talk about nourishment. This is the extension of the relationship, the ongoing of it, of the contributing to it, of the both putting in, of it also being protected as well. It's not just wide open for everybody to contribute to and give their opinion or for it to be wrecked. No. It's like coveted in a way that it's in a specific place in the home. It's right where it should be. Like when you light a fire, you want some boundaries, right? You want some definition going on there of what it is, like a fire pit, right? Or a grill, or a candle in a candle holder. Those are good places to have it. You don't just light fire up in the midst of anything and everything. And that's what these secrets do. There begins to be this safety, this divining, this sharing of each other's self, from morning to night and then again. And it begins to build the layers of that hominess, just like the foundations, just like the walls, the bricks. It begins with the foundation when you're building with stone. Lay the best stones first. Make sure they fit well, okay? And that they're well fitted. And you begin to build upon that and build upon that, and the weight will be able to support itself. Okay? Okay. All right, Taurus, is there anything else we want to peep into right here to take us out? Let's get a cloud card. Let's get your head up and all right, well, you're already doing it. What you saying? What you saying? The 8 of Hearts. So this is showing up as a bit of a warning. Don't set traps or put up snags or test or interview or what is that called? Like take resumes, set them up and ask specific pointed questions, because that really feeds the dead branch as opposed to the magic restoring the branch. Remember what we saw over here? You're not testing for that. This is for you privately in your own heart to sit as you rest and reflect. As you wait, sorry, I got stuff everywhere. As you rest and reflect, it'll become clear. As you begin to taste and divine in this relationship, you'll know if you're comfortable and comforted or if you're not. That's why there's all this green going on here. It won't be the blood, sweat, and tears. It won't be the hopes, dreams, and fears. It won't be the forcing of the throat or trying to be understood or known. There's no more of that crushing energy. The knots are all gone. Those bindings are all gone. The wheel is turning. The fascination is there, all right? But it's a little low-key and easy right now, and that's what has you like wondering and wanting to provoke, snag, and stir a little bit to test. And he says, don't do that. He's given you that knowing eye of wisdom that says you know better, now do better. You came out from the mist. Don't return to it, okay? Because that's an undoing of yourself. And if you want to know, do you see that divine number right there? Of the same heart, you will know. And with that, we have the Jack of Pips coming on in. You hold the power of life in your hand. They're saying, don't be a dirty rat. Don't be a dirty rat. There are clean rats and there are dirty rats. There's a fool unto life and a fool unto death. There's talking and sharing and asking with somebody, and there's setting them up. Okay? When Ghost Dance is now speaking from the mist, from yourself to yourself, saying, set yourself up for victory. Set yourself up for the opportunity to see yourself in the mirror, to receive this beauty in life, to be set free from the dents and the bondages and the mars and the markings of the old ways. Allow yourself to be fascinating and fascinated. It's with you, Taurus. It's right here. Look at that delicious divine green. For some of you, it's Virgo coming on in. Just a little love bomb right there. I'm telling you. With that, I'm going to say, hey, leave me comments down below. Leave me compliments down below. It doesn't matter. Tell me hi. Let me know you stopped by. Give me an emoji if you're Ellsworth. It doesn't matter. Come on in here and let me know you're there. All right? I love you. Talk soon. Bye.